So obviously, since the last time we talked, the NBA draft happened this past Thursday. Paolo Banchero went number one to the Orlando Magic. Chet Holmgren went number two to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then Jabari Smith rounded out the top three as he went to the Rockets. It was rumored that Jabari Smith was going to go number one, but the Magic changed their mind last minute, and I think it was the right choice going Paolo. But what do you guys have to say?
So for Orlando, I think Paolo was the best choice. Um, I think if Mo Bamba didn't play the way he played, then I think they would have went Chet. But Mo Bamba started playing some good basketball last season.
Right.
So taking the four to go with that to also run with like Cole Anthony, I think that's like a really nice young core they're kind of developing there. As long as Paolo also does his thing. But I think they could be a nice little young core in the future.
I agree. I know you wanted Jabari to go first, Gio. So what do you have to say about the pick?
Um, you know, I'm happy for all those guys, that got drafted. First off, Jabari for me was just the most athletic player, right? And I feel like he was the most ready for the NBA other than Paolo. But either one of them is a good pick. Hopefully, I just thought Jabari could make a bigger difference in Orlando and start, have that bigger spark for them. And then I thought Paolo would have went too if that did happen. Just because I feel like OKC already has that team building around that young squad, just like the Cavs had. I feel like they're just a year or two away from having that young starting lineup that they need in order to build off of something. But
I agree.
I'm fine with whatever happened, and we'll see what happens now. So
Right. I think it was 1A, 1B, like you said. Both are great picks.
So do you guys think Chet was a reach then at number two?
I mean, I knew the Thunder were going to go there because they need a center, but like I think overall he's the third best player in the draft. Yes.
You too, Gia?
um, I don't want people to think I'm a hater towards him, right? It's just this. He's got great skill level, as we've seen. It's just, to me, I feel like he's a little small right now in this day and age, where you have all these great bigs in their prime, pretty much like Giannis, like Jokic, like
And
Aiton coming up. You got Rudy. You got at least 10 great centers that have size on them,
Bamzi
right?
Adebayo.
Right. Bam Adebayo can lock him up easily. Just for me, it's because of the size, right? He's got the skill, but I just don't think he's ready for the NBA for that size yet. I feel like he's a very skinny rookie Giannis, right?
That's what I was going to
Yep.
say. Like
Like
that's what I was going to
skinnier than
say.
rookie Giannis, though.
Right. That's what I was going
Rookie
to say.
Giannis.
Like I mean, we did say the same thing about Giannis, and now look at him. So I mean, he could do the same thing and prove us wrong, but we just have to wait and see.
I feel like he
Rookie
has.
Giannis had that J though.
I don't know
Sorry,
what
go ahead,
happened to it, but yeah.
Sorry, Gia.
It's all good. He has to hit Giannis's meal plan. Whatever Giannis did in the off seasons between 15 and 18 before he won MVP, he has to do whatever Giannis did in those off seasons in order to make that jump. And I think once he gains a little bit of size, but like you said, we never know what happens to a unicorn, right? Like they can just come out of nowhere.
Mhm.
But for me, it's once he gains that size, it's a lock. He'll be a great star in the league.
I agree. And I think it's great that the Thunder drafted him too, because they're not trying to win now. They're trying to rebuild. So they can make him a
Right.
project.
Right. Exactly.
No, so to play devil's advocate, I also agree. Chet's too skinny right now. But to play devil's advocate, he hasn't really had a problem with it his whole
Right.
career through college and high school. So, do you think there is a possibility that just his like rounded out game could hide the fact that he is skinny in the post?
I mean, maybe on offense, but I feel like on defense, it can't be hidden in the NBA at least.
What if they run something more like Rudy Gobert defense, like the Utah Jazz used to, but also had like a bigger guy at the four?
Yeah, they could do that, but I feel like eventually he's gonna have to switch on to someone like Bam or DeAndre Ayton and then get back down easily.
I also agree with that, but just had to put it out there, you know.
What do you think, Gio?
So I'm trying to compare them, although comparisons are bad, but they can also help. Kevin Durant is not the strongest player, yet he has the skill level in order to create his own shot and to take over a game. If Shed can do that, right?
Mhm.
I feel like he'll be great in this league. Although I feel like LaMelo Ball played in the what is it, BYL or something? What is it called?
Yeah,
JBL.
EYBL or something like that.
Yeah, or well, not. It's the league in Australia,
Oh, the Australian League.
and isn't it the NBL or something? Or
I'll look it up right now, but keep going.
okay, so for me, LaMelo's played professional for a long period of time. Even when he played professional, he was smaller, and I feel like he gained size coming into the NBA so that he could be prepared.
Yeah,
And I feel
it's the
like that
NBA. It's the NBL. You were right.
NBL, right? Okay,
Yeah,
so the NB he played in the NBL. He was smaller in the NBL than he is now. I feel like
right.
looking at it
Yeah,
perspective, and I feel like that also helped LaMelo become a great player in the league because he has that size. I feel like if he was smaller like he was in the NBL, then he could be a different player right now.
well, I feel like the NBA just does a great job of like making players, bigger in size because like you look
Right,
at Giannis, same thing.
right.
LeBron wasn't always this big and strong when he came in the league either. So I mean,
No,
like they just have a great plans to help these players, develop.
With even with LeBron, even when he was in Miami, he was looking way scrawnier than he does now.
Right.
But the athleticism, it's kind of like a little trade off, I would say.
Yeah. I feel like the NBA just knows what to do, like to make these players develop in the right way.
Fair.
for sure.
You have
I
some,
need to get on them plans.
bro, facts, same. You have something to say, Gio? You looked like you wanted to say something.
Yes. For me, it's the comparison between Kevin Durant and him because, like I said, Kevin Durant doesn't have the muscle like other players do, but he is still able to take over the game. And I think Shed can do that in the NBA. It's just, will he do that right now?
I don't think he'll do it now, but in the future, I definitely can see him doing it if he develops the way that we expect him to.
Right.
Yeah, but I also think he could have a like decent impact his rookie year.
I agree. I'm not saying he's going to have an awful year. Like he's not going to be a bust year one. It's just he's not going to be the type of player that everyone expects him to be, I would say.
So who do you? Oh, go ahead.
What is that though? What do you expect him to be?
Well, I feel like people are expecting him to come out and drop like 20 and 10 right away.
Oh,
Because like everyone is so high on him saying he should have went number one, blah, blah, blah. Like then I feel like that's what they're expecting him to do.
that's fair. People might be, but I don't even see him doing that
I would
later
say
down the line.
I would say like this year at least 15, maybe 5 boards a game.
Ooh, I think he's going to average like 12, 6, but also like 4 assists at the same time.
Yeah, he's a great passer, but I feel like he's going to score 15 just because that team doesn't have much people who can score outside of Shea.
Oh, come on, my boy Louis Dort, he's developing.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like consistently score.
Okay, consistently, that's fair.
What do you think, Gio?
I'm sorry.
Like,
What do you project Chet to do?
Yeah, that was gonna go into my next question. I'm not too sure if he's gonna be rookie of the year.
I don't think he will be.
I feel like he will be the top 5 rookies though, for sure.
Yeah. Mhm.
Unless the NBA does shut him down, like they shut down Lonzo in his rookie season,
Yeah.
where all the hype was on this one player. Whereas I feel like even though Paolo was number 1, he's gonna go under the radar for me. because of all the hype around Chet. So
Yeah, that's fair. Personally, you're asking who we think is going to be rookie of the year.
right.
I still have Paulo personally. I think he's
Okay.
the most NBA ready out of this class, and I think he should have went number one. And I think he will be the best rookie, at least in year one.
I disagree. I really like that boy Jaden Ivey. Especially being in Detroit. Because now that Jeremy Grant's gone, who do they really have?
That's
have
true.
Cade
They have
Cunningham.
nobody. Yeah, Cade Cunningham. That's
Kelly
real.
Olynyk.
But like, I'm kind of confused at that pick as well because like, are they going to put Cunningham at shooting guard or something?
I hope not, bro.
Because like they're both point guards, or at least, I mean, like Ivy's not built like a point guard, but technically he's a point guard.
I hope like this year at least. Actually, no. So what I'm thinking is I want both of them to get point guard minutes,
Right.
but I also want both of them to play. So maybe they could like play around, have each of them maybe take like 5 people, like a different like maybe Cade starts the first couple of weeks. And then Ivy comes off the bench, running with the bench squad, seeing how he can run that team. Same with Cade. Then they like switch. Maybe they try shooting guard, point guards, flops as well during games to see what they really have there.
Yeah, because to me, I don't think Ivy can play shooting guard. He's more of a point guard, I would say.
Never know until you ask him to do it, you know?
That's true. That's true. But yeah, Ivy is definitely a great option because, like you said, they have no one who can score. It's like an under the radar option like Scotty Barnes was last year, and look how that turned out.
Yeah.
But who do you have, Gio?
Well, for me, the obvious pick would have been Jabari Smith. Just because he's gonna be on the Rockets. I'm not too sure on how he's gonna play though with Jalen Green and those guys. And then if John Wall does happen to play for them or whatever the case may be for John Wall, I'm not too sure on how he's gonna play with those guys. But Jabari would be my first pick. But I was gonna have to agree with Nick on this one. That kid that went to the Pistons, Jaden Ivey, right?
Mhm.
He's gonna be great. But another one that might be a sleeper is Johnny Davis.
That's
where
true.
he came from Wisconsin. He's a shooter. I feel like he's gonna be great for them.
Yeah, that's very true. I forgot about that pick. That was a great pick by the Wizards.
Right. Especially if they do end up getting rid of, say, a Bradley Beal for picks or whatnot.
Right.
Who do they have? Kyle Kuzma, Roy Hachimura, and then you got Johnny Davis. And you never know what he can do.
Very true.
Ruby Hachimura, my boy.
For sure.
But do you guys think the Kings should have took Ivy over Keegan Murray, or do you think that was the right pick for the Kings? Because personally, I think Murray was the right pick for the Kings.
I agree.
I do think so. I'm someone who's very high on Keegan Murray,
Mm-hmm.
but I also know the Kings draft history.
That's true.
So I'm very like I think looking at it from the Kings' perspective, that was the pick.
Mhm.
But the Kings suck at developing players and actually making them into something where they can help. So I think later down the line, we're going to get criticized for saying it was a good pick. But right now, before the Kings mess it up, it's a good pick, I would say.
I agree. I mean, the only one they have developed right is De'Aaron Fox. That's it.
In Reese. Before
Right.
they traded him.
Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, I still don't understand. But yeah.
Boogie Cousins.
Well, yeah, but that's just Boogie's just talent. His talent was through the roof.
Come on. So was De'Aaron, though. That's like the
Yeah, but like you
speed.
could say the same thing of Marvin Bagley, and they messed that up big time.
Very true. Very true.
Exactly. De'Aaron just that guy, bro. He gonna make
De'Aaron is that
even
guy.
in sack time.
Boogie Cousins was that guy.
Exactly. That's my boy De'Aaron. Put some respect on his name.
But at the same time,
Tyrese
it's not.
Halliburton.
Right.
It's gonna be
At
that
the same,
guy.
because like they have developed players, right? So I mean, it might not be the Kings organization; it might just be the players as well. Like,
Well, to agree with you, right? It is the Kings organization. They blow things up so easily. They pick things just like the Knicks. They pick their players so strategically, right? And it's great players they pick.
right,
But they can never put it together, though. That's the thing. That's why they have to blow it up because the players they pick aren't able to work well together. So,
right, and like I feel like it's more the players that are getting better, not the Kings organization helping them. It's
right,
just the
exactly.
players.
Right. It's just like you said, it's the talent. Boogie Cousins had the talent. Darren Fox had the talent. You
Right.
know, Tyrese Halliburton had the talent. They traded him. So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, I think Keegan Murray proves to be, as of right now, should be a good pick.
for sure.
All I know is if I'm Detroit, bro, I'm hyped right now.
Yeah, bro, I'd be
Yeah.
so happy Ivy fell in my hands.
Not even that. If I'm Detroit, I'm like, hey, we drafted after the Kings.
Right.
He'll be a
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Right. And they got their two players that they wanted. They got Ivy and then the Memphis center as well, Jalen Duren.
Yes, sir.
So I
So
mean
good.
that team, I mean not as of right now, but like in the future, it could be very good.
They could be
The
believed.
the trade we were discussing last time for Jeremy Grant is
Mhm.
looking like it's working in the favor for Detroit right now.
I agree. And this new GM they got, he's very good.
You never know; they could turn out to be the new Cavs.
I'll have to agree.
Right. I mean, people are saying they could make the play in, but like I feel like it's too early, but I wouldn't be surprised if they at least got a 10 seed.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I don't think they will, but like I feel like they do have the potential to do it at least this year.
I still think they're too young.
But
'Cause they're
like
top.
people said that about like the Cavs this past year too.
Yeah, but think about the Cavs. They're top dog. Like they at least had Colin Sexton. He
Garland.
was going into his junior year of the NBA.
Yeah, Garland.
Garland was going into his sophomore year. But
They had Mobley. I mean,
Kevin Love, Ricky Rubio were all veterans, though.
yeah,
That's-
like
I think that's
true.
what, yeah.
their guy is Cade Cunningham
yeah.
right now. Like he's a
Kelly
sophomore.
Olynyk, though, too. Don't forget about Kelly.
Yeah,
Poor
I mean,
man, bro, can't.
yeah, the only reason I could see it not happening is the only reason I'm skeptical of it happening is because of their age, like you said. Like they're both either second year players or first year players.
But I think next year, like not this next season, the season after that, I might be tripping, but I have them sliding in as the 8th seed for the play-in.
I could see that. I mean, like, because I know it's not a great free agency destination, but like they could still land some okay to mediocre players that could help them win.
With the players they drafted too, I think they built like a good team up drafting wise to make something happen. They just need to get the right role players and pieces to really
Right.
fill it out.
I agree, and I think we'll see what they do with this free agency, but like I think this new GM definitely has a plan in place to do so.
I was skeptical with the Jeremy Grant trade, but now I'm starting to become a little bit of a believer. You know,
Right. Yeah. I agree. But speaking of the Knicks, their first round draft was I don't know what they were doing, but like what do you guys have to say about it?
picks.
I mean, yeah, they got picks, but like it's just such a typical Knicks move what they did in the draft.
It's very scary what they did.
Yeah. I mean, they got 3 first round picks for Duran, but like
No, not that. It's just completely scary of what their thought process was.
right.
Like,
That's what I'm
what
saying.
are they thinking?
I don't understand because they drafted a point guard which they needed, and they turn around and trade him. Like I don't understand.
It makes zero sense to me on why they did that. It makes zero sense to me of why that organization is. I don't know. They shouldn't even be an organization anymore. The New York Knicks shouldn't be like, although it is like one of the highest grossing, franchises, in the United States, but it's sad because they got to be better than this. To me,
I agree. I mean, I feel like 2018 or 19, whatever it was when they made the playoffs, I feel like that was a fluke and it's looking like it.
There's only one possibility I have in mind for what the Knicks are thinking, and it scares me because I don't see it going through at all.
What's that possibility?
The only thing I see them doing is trying to get enough assets where they can make a splash for Kevin Durant if he decides to leave Brooklyn. Maybe a Bradley Beal,
Kyrie, maybe.
Right.
Kyrie. Like they might be trying to get KD and Kyrie to go to New York.
Yeah, but like they already tried that. And it went to the other side.
They
Well,
might be trying again. Kyrie can't really pick where he goes.
That's true.
this
Well, go
is
ahead, Gio.
this is my thought process. According to Stephen A. Right Smith, he states how Kyrie wanted to go to Brooklyn.
Right.
Right? That's a true statement?
I mean, yeah, because Kevin Durant was there, so I'm assuming
Right.
it's true.
So, assuming that's a true statement, I believe KD wanted to go to the Knicks, but he went with. Let's just say this: he went to Brooklyn to appease Kyrie.
Uh-huh.
Kyrie leaves. Say he goes to LA or someplace else.
Right.
What's left in Brooklyn for him? Kyrie's gone. He didn't want to be in Brooklyn.
Right.
Go over a borough over and go to the New York Knicks. Like Nick is saying, might be the smartest move we're not looking at. I didn't look at this until Nick just said this.
That's true.
Gaining
like-
all these assets so you can get a Kevin Durant. And once you get a Kevin Durant, you are automatically put in top 6 seed.
Very true. But like knowing it's the Knicks, I just don't think they could be that smart because I haven't seen them be that smart in any years I've lived.
The smartest thing I've seen them do right now is fire Phil Jackson, right? They hired who's the coach? Tibbs?
Thibodeau, yeah.
Yeah. They hired Thibodeau as the coach, and that was the smartest thing they've done. And drafting RJ Barrett.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, maybe this is the move that we don't see for the future, but like, I don't know. I just don't see it playing out that way.
That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared the Knicks did all of this just for Kyrie to sign back in Brooklyn and stay with KD.
Right.
And Bradley Beal get shipped off to like Miami or something where now they're just stuck without anything.
That's usually how it's happened, right, in the past. So
right. That's what I was gonna say. That'd be a typical Knicks situation.
But if they end up getting Kevin Durant, I will sit here and say that might be the smartest move they've made in a long time.
For
to
sure.
have that amount of risk and then get rewarded for that.
Sorry about that. Before we left off, we were talking about how maybe the Knicks are seeing something we don't see. Continue what you were saying, Gio.
Yeah. So right, for me, if this falls through and Knicks theory does happen, where the Knicks do end up getting a Kevin Durant or Bradley Beal, this will be a great move for them moving forward, and it will also be a great move for the Nets. Say they get 4 first-round picks and a great player, they're getting pretty much all the picks they got rid of to Boston for the Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett trade a long time ago. So they're going to get those picks back and develop a team like they should have done in the past.
The Knicks, by the end of this, will either look like one of the smartest organizations or they'll look completely stupid with how they did it, depending on if they can sign someone.
Right.
I think it's going to be the latter just because it's the Knicks. I don't think they'll look smart. I think they're going to look dumb. But like, if it does pan out, then this will be one of the smartest moves in NBA history, I would say.
The thing is, they might even be. Think about Damian Lillard, too, though. If he wants out next offseason, they got those picks sitting there.
Yeah.
If they don't make a trade this year.
Right.
Maybe you throw in, like, Julius Randle, but I doubt that they'll want him. So maybe RJ or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe they slide Damian Lillard to New York, get some more buzz there.
Right. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, obviously, but maybe they're seeing something we don't see, like Nick said.
Another thing I like, something I saw was they were trying to get Jalen Brunson too with that though. That's why they
Yeah.
traded Kemba's contract. What do you guys think about Jalen Brunson in New York?
I think it'd be a good fit, but like from Jalen's standpoint, I think you just stay with the Mavs.
Especially because the Mavs got a nice draft pick too. I believe he's gonna be nice.
Right. Who'd they pick
Sure.
again?
Who they pick, you said?
Yeah.
Wendell Moore Jr.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think that's a great pick for them.
And I mean, like Jalen's just thriving in Dallas, and I mean he would in New York, but I just don't think it would be to the level that he is in Dallas.
Oh, never mind. They traded him.
Oh, they did trade Wendell?
Was that
Mhm.
for the Christian Wood trade?
They traded him to Minnesota.
Gotcha. For what?
I don't know.
Gotcha. But Minnesota will be nice, especially with him now. That's another great depth, for them, just to add on that depth. If they did keep on, McDaniels and Vanderbilt going alongside with, hopefully D'Lo's better. Hopefully Anthony Edwards, improves. Karl Anthony Towns takes it to that next step where he can bring it to the playoffs. But yeah, staying with your question though, Jake. Jalen Brunson, right, should stay with the Mavs. I feel like it would be better off for the Mavs because it keeps that depth, keeps another scoring player other than Luka. And I don't think he would really do too much in New York just because I feel like the Mavs make Jalen so good. It's more the Mavs making Jalen good than Jalen making the Mavs good.
I agree. I don't think he would thrive as much as he is right now in New York.
Right.
But from the money standpoint, that's the only reason I could see him leaving is because the Knicks can offer him more money than the Mavs.
Got to get that bag somehow.
Right, because they're trying. What I saw is they're trying to offer him 4 years, 100 million. So
Right.
unless the Mavs give him that much, that's the only reason I would see him leaving.
That's shocking to me.
Well, he's a young player who started showing out in Dallas. But like Gio was saying, I also think that was Dallas making him good as well.
Yeah.
So you put him in New York, one of the biggest stages to perform at, Madison Square Garden. And then you also ask him to do things he's never been asked to do before.
Right.
I think that could be a problem down the road where Knicks fans might expect more than he can actually put out, at least at first.
I agree. I think it'd be like more like a Kemba situation where like he's never started in his career. He wouldn't be coming off the bench anymore because Quickly's still coming off the bench. So we haven't seen him start. I mean, he's a great bench player, but is he starting caliber? We don't know.
I think the risk to reward ratio, especially if New York does try to pay him that much, I don't really see it there.
I don't either. I feel like it'd be more like Kemba where he underperforms and then eventually gets shipped off somewhere.
They gotta let RJ just take the shit, bro. Let him run with it for a little bit, see what he can do.
Yeah, him and Quickly, those are their two best players, I would say.
Oh, come on now. If they get my boy Mitch Rob back, I like that piece too.
Him too, but he has to stay healthy.
Thanks.
Go ahead,
But yeah,
Joe.
Well, for me, it's the same scenario as like a Scary Terry and Devontae Graham scenario, where Devontae was showing out when Terry Rozier, right, ended up injured. But I don't think Devontae Graham is that, starting point guard. He's a great bench player, just like Jalen Brunson would be. And I feel like it would hurt his career more if he does end up taking that job with the Knicks, just because they're gonna, it's gonna exploit all his his kind of like weaknesses, like what in his game, and it's gonna show that more than what he can bring to the table. So just
I
stay in
agree.
that role that you're meant to be in and stay in your lane. That's what my opinion is.
I agree. I think he should also stay with the Mavs from a winning standpoint too, because they're
Right.
closer to winning than the Knicks anyway.
Right. But
I also believe he has more to learn from Luca, where I
Right.
think gradually he can turn into a starter in Dallas, learning
Right.
from Luca. But
He wouldn't
And
be learning
Jason
from
Kidd, of
anybody
course.
in New York, really.
he'll be like one of the old. He won't be like a veteran, but he's gonna be one of the older, more dependent on dudes. And
Right. And Julius Randle can't teach him how to be a point guard as a power forward. So
No, it's just gonna be a tough situation. Maybe Derrick Rose, but even then,
he might leave. So like,
yeah, it's
I don't know. I think he should stay with Dallas, but we'll see what happens.
facts.
Go
It'll
ahead,
be
Gio.
interesting.
But
It will.
speaking on this, brought a question to my head. If you guys are cool with it,
Yeah, go ahead.
all these young guys are starting to get these high-paying salaries, right? Where they're getting these deals for $100 million, 4 years. Jalen Brunson, right,
Right.
is one of them. Then you got Jordan Poole as another one.
Yeah.
Steph Curry didn't make his bag until later on in his career. I don't think really did Dwayne Wade. I don't know about you, but did Dwayne Wade make a large bag like $100 million 4-year deal after his rookie contract?
I don't think the salary cap was up that much, but D-Wade got paid.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like these kids I feel like they need to show more of what they can do rather than getting paid instantly because you don't really know what they can do after like 1 or 2 years, 3 years.
Right. Because like I saw Jordan Poole wants to max. Like he's a great
Right.
player. Don't get me wrong, but like he's not
He's
max
still
caliber yet.
right. He's still so young. We don't know what you can do. What is your peak?
Right. I think they shouldn't give him this much money right away because then it's like, oh, we got the bag and we don't got to work anymore. But like that's not true.
Right.
I don't believe he's an established enough player to be getting paid that much.
Right.
Like
Not
right
at
now,
all.
New York's paying for his potential rather than his current day status. Like Gio said with Dwayne Wade earlier, D-Wade got paid, but also when he got his contract, he was already a Finals MVP. And
Right. He won that championship, right?
yeah, so
Yeah.
he had a well-deserved bag there. He
Right.
established himself.
Exactly.
I haven't seen that with Jalen Brunson. He's not even starting yet.
No. You could say the same thing with Jordan Poole. Like he's not a starter yet either.
No, like although Jordan Poole was a big part of making that championship run.
Yes.
Oh,
But
for
like
sure.
not a max contract extension, I would say.
No, I think the best thing for the Warriors would be to get him on it, and Jordan Poole would be get like a decent salary to start,
Right.
where they can still play with money. And then,
Right. I'd be more focused on Andrew Wiggins first than Jordan Poole.
oh, definitely, Andrew Wiggins was a big part of that championship. He didn't win the MVP, but
He helped them
he was
win.
close to.
Yeah, he helped them win big time.
Yeah,
And speaking about Andrew Wiggins, he got that bag early on too in his career where he didn't prove himself. Now I know like he does deserve that bag now, right? Because he did. He has those he has the ring, right? He showed and he proved himself in the league that he can do things that most players can't. So he deserves that bag now. And I feel like you need to put in the hard work, right? And the sweat and the time in order to get that bag, and it shouldn't be like an instant thing, like I was saying.
I agree.
I agree, but I will disagree at the same time. I don't believe Andrew Wiggins should have got paid initially.
Either do I.
I think now he should be getting like a good
Right.
paycheck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was
I
just
feel
trying
like-
to. Yeah,
But yeah,
I was just trying to prove my point. You know, that you shouldn't pay these players so early on, and you got to wait till they actually prove themselves.
thanks. Like we can go back to the Zion thing where he's about to get paid this max contract
Oh,
for
for sure.
playing like
Zero
25% of the games.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't it like 59 games or something like that?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's ridiculous to me.
I mean, I don't understand that, but that's just subject for another time.
Speaking of that, that brings us to Kyrie as well.
Right. The player options. Yeah. That which are coming up this Wednesday, I believe.
Yep.
Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook, and Kyrie Irving all have their opportunity to opt in or out of their contracts, making them free agents or trade options. All I know is if Kyrie and Russell Westbrook both opt in, there's going to be mock trades left and right. but I expect Russell Westbrook to opt in because he's not leaving that money on the table. And I don't know about Kyrie and Bradley Beal yet.
One player I was gonna say, don't forget about is James Harden as well.
Yes, him too.
But he might be a guarantee.
Yeah, I would say he is.
For me, I see all of them opting in, which might seem boring to people, but I don't see all of them staying. I see a lot of trades happening still. Westbrook, I see staying in LA, unfortunately, Jake.
I agree.
Unless Kyrie really wants to go there, but I don't see Brooklyn trading Russ for Kyrie.
No.
I think Beal resigns. They work out a trade.
I agree.
A sign and trade. Kyrie, that's the interesting one where I think Brooklyn's going to have to just give him what he wants.
Yeah, because
Even though
you let him walk, KD's gone. Like that's your future.
Kyrie's another problem though, where he only played about like 30% of the games.
Right.
Yeah, but like you could also say like that issue's gone now that the vax mandate's up. So, but yeah, I got all of them opting in as well, and the only person I see leaving is Beal. I think Kyrie works it out with Brooklyn, and Russ is in LA to stay for at least this year.
If you're Brooklyn and you don't sign Kyrie, y'all are so dumb.
Right, because like just because you're gonna think Katie's calling bluff, I'm telling you right now, Kevin Durant is not calling bluff. He is mad. You got swept first of all, and then his best friend leaves. Nah, he's out.
And if you at least sign Kyrie Irving, that's Kyrie Irving you can trade instead of just having him walk for nothing.
Right, like say like I don't know, say he's not playing great or he's not playing many games. All right, turn around and trade him.
Like, because it is Kyrie Irving at the end of the day. It's not going to be like a Russell Westbrook thing where he just fizzles out. Because sorry, Jake, Kyrie's way more skilled than Russell Westbrook was.
Well, yeah, 100%.
So, like, you could trade any team would want Kyrie on their team.
Right, 100%.
He's just a pure scorer. And I think they can get good packages back for him and KD. Both of them leave.
I agree. But I think both of them stay for at least one more year. Try to get to the championship that they're trying to get to, and then if it doesn't work out, maybe they go their separate ways.
Thanks. And Brooklyn hasn't even played a full season healthy.
Right. And they didn't even have Ben Simmons last year. You got to at least see those three together first.
Simmons hasn't stepped on the court yet.
Right. Like you can't break up this team without seeing the potential. Like that's just crazy.
Like when was the last time in NBA history a team didn't see their their team healthy and they just blew it up before even having their own chance?
Right. Like that just make the Ben Simmons trade look so stupid too. Like you just traded for him for nothing.
Legit. Like
I think it's gonna work out though. I think they're both staying, like I said. The only person I see leaving in a sign and trade is Bradley Beal. I don't know where he'll go, but I don't think he's staying in Washington.
No.
What do you think, Gio?
So obviously James Harden is going to opt in, sign his contract.
Right.
Russell Westbrook is tough. I feel if he opts out, right, and sign him on can they sign him on a smaller contract?
I mean, they could, but I don't think that Russ would do that because $47 million, he's not leaving that on the table.
Right. At the same time, he has made his money elsewhere. And if he wants to win that championship, I'm taking a pay cut. I didn't prove to you guys that I deserve this money.
I agree, but personally, I don't think Russ is that.
You can use that money and get someone else in the market.
No, I agree. I think it'd be a great move, and I think Russ should do it. But I don't think Russ is personally. I don't think he's that person to do that.
Right. I think Russ is getting, like you said, who passes up on that money. But it would be the best chance for you guys to win a championship because that's the type of sacrifice you guys need.
Right.
That's for Russ. Kyrie Irving, it's very tough for me because Kyrie's the type of player where he will say that he will opt out just because he wants to. He doesn't want anyone in control of him. He wants to say that it's not because of the money, it's not because of this, it is because I truly believe that I want to leave. So he will possibly opt out because of that reason. We've seen him, not play because of that reason, that he just doesn't want to. The only argument there is you guys haven't seen the full potential of that team. The Nets will say, hey, you opt in with us, go ahead, do what you want. Let's see how you, Ben Simmons, and Kevin Durant play together. If you guys start winning, stick with us and win a championship. If it goes away, then we will trade you. Right? For me, that's the best option, for the Nets and Kyrie. Do you have something to say about that?
No, I think it's.
Okay,
I think you're right.
And then Bradley Beal, I just saw. I'm pretty sure he's gonna opt out of his contract. Right? He's gonna opt out. He's gonna sign the 5-year max afterwards. After he opts out, and then like you said, I'm pretty sure he's gonna go to Miami or LA, one of those two spots. And for me also, if Miami doesn't get him, I feel like they get Donovan Mitchell though. Just to add on to that.
I also saw something that said Bradley Beal could go to Boston as well.
That would be very interesting to see if you can add on would you get rid of Jalen?
That's the thing. I don't know who they would trade.
I would not want to get rid of Jalen. He has too much left in the tank, and I think his peak is not even there yet.
Right. I wouldn't want to get rid of Jalen or Jason. So like, who are you trading?
Right.
I wouldn't give up Time Lord either.
No.
He was crucial to them.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even give up. I honestly wouldn't even give up Marcus Smart because like he was a big reason why they were turned around that season.
I would just run it back with that team.
Right. I agree. That's why I don't think Boston is a good fit for that. But I saw it somewhere, so I thought I could put that out there.
That is potential. So,
as a Heat fan, I think I would rather have Bradley Beal right now.
I think it's more of a guarantee as well because like you don't know if Donovan Mitchell even wants to leave yet.
It all depends on if they get rid of Rudy. So
right.
I also see it as Miami not having to give up as much.
That's true.
Right. Yep.
So I think with the Bradley Beal trade, Miami can still keep Ty.
Mm-hmm.
They can keep Bam. They can keep Jimmy. They can keep Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can manage.
Who did you trade to get Beal though?
I think Duncan Robinson. I don't want to trade Jovic at all.
I mean, like you could throw in some picks.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like 2 first-rounders, maybe a second, maybe 2 seconds.
Right.
Hopefully that's enough.
I'll say you have to throw in at least one more player. I would say they would ask for.
Max Strus or Gabe Vincent. I'll throw one of them out there.
Yeah.
For me, it might not even work out like that. It might work out better for the Miami Heat because Pat Riley is such a magician that he will be able to work out anything. I feel like that will benefit the Heat more than the other team.
Right. I agree. But yeah, I think for Heat's sake, Bradley Beal's not a better fit, but the better choice to go after this offseason.
For sure.
I would say the same thing for the Lakers. If the Wizards do want to get rid of him, I think that's one of the Lakers' best bets, if not their best bet, to try and get him because like I don't think any other free agent would want to come to us.
Right. Plus, there's already chemistry between him and Russ.
Right.
So.
But yeah, speaking of Gabe Vincent, sorry, real quick, and Max Strus, I have a sleeper Gabe Vincent and Max Strus on Miami. Jake knows who it is.
Oh yeah, Nikola Jovic.
Nah, not even him. He's expected, Miami signed this dude to their summer league team.
Oh, the St. Bonaventure guy.
Jalen Adaway. I really hope Miami signs him to a 2-way at least this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that dude was in the gym every single day. Like after games, he would still shoot for an hour after the games, especially if we lost. He works super hard. and he's got crazy bounce. I think he could be really good one day in the league.
That's Miami player type. That's a Miami Heat type player as well, like one who doesn't stop working.
Yeah, he was the hardest working on St. Bonaventure last year.
That makes sense why the Heat, gave him a chance then.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. But sorry.
Speaking of two ways, Syracuse player Cole Swider coming to the Lakers. Buddy Boeheim, he got a two-way with the Detroit Pistons. Speaking of the Pistons and Jaden Ivey, hopefully he can get some minutes there. And then Jimmy Boeheim got a summer league deal with the Detroit Pistons as well. So Pro Orange looking good.
Yes, sir. I'm thinking about getting me a Buddy Boeheim jersey.
Honestly, I might have to because that boy bucket.
Love that kid.
I can't wait for the summer league to happen.
Right.
Because you have Cole Swider on the Lakers. Hopefully, if he proves himself, he can be a crucial player because he is that 3-and-D type of player where LeBron loves playing with those guys. And I feel like he will get the minutes once he proves himself. And then obviously,
personally, I feel like Swider's going to have to wait till like maybe LeBron leaves to get minutes, but that's just me.
I think he'll get minutes just because he will be that Kyle Korver type player where all he needs to do is sit in the pocket and shoot.
That's true.
LeBron loves playing with those guys.
I mean, he could be like Austin Reeves where he just proves himself over time.
Right. And then with the Pistons, obviously for the one main reason, you have the Boeheim brothers playing on the same team. Once again, you can't ask for anything better than that.
Right. It's looking good for sure.
Jimmy will not get signed.
Jimmy will not, or what?
Will not get signed.
I don't think he will either. I was surprised he even got signed to a summer league deal, to be honest.
Keeping hope, Jimmy and Buddy will get signed to the Detroit Pistons, and in 5 years' time, they will win a championship.
Personally, that's just me as a Syracuse fan. I'm going to criticize Jimmy because his game is way too old school for today's NBA. I don't see it succeeding unless he changes his game.
I agree. As a Syracuse basketball fan, I'm a Jimmy Boeheim hater.
I don't hate him, but some decisions he made this year, I was like, bro, what are you doing?
I'm a fan of him, but it's a love-hate relationship.
Right.
Like Max Strus for me in Miami.
I agree because like some of those like skyhook floaters at air balls, I was like, bro, pass it out to Buddy.
I would love it if both of them got signed though, bro.
Yeah, that'd be so fun for sure.
And like you guys,
go ahead, Gio.
As a Syracuse fan, I am so happy for Jimmy Boeheim because he lit Duke up in our last game.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Like, I was going to say, if he can play like he did against Duke in our last game, then he definitely has a chance to get signed.
For sure.
But keep going. My bad.
One of the most unathletic players on that team.
Yeah, 100%.
He
got that from his dad.
Right. Lit up possibly one of the most athletic teams this year in Duke. And, if that can happen, anything can happen for that kid. So
that's true. I mean, both of those guys, I love both Boeheims, but both of them are very unathletic.
Yep.
They got that from their dad.
That's why Syracuse's defense. That's why Syracuse basketball was not Syracuse basketball by any means.
No, bro. Sometimes Jimmy and Buddy were bringing up the court for like 5 minutes. I was like, bro, how are you not over the court yet?
The worst defensive Syracuse team I've ever seen, but the best offense.
Yeah, bro, for real.
Those two brothers know how to shoot the ball, so.
That's facts. I mean, obviously, Buddy is better. Jimmy needs to work on his shot, but if he can play like he did against Duke, like I said, anything can happen.
Right.
But it's going to be great to see those two reunited for sure.
This will be the first time in a long time I turned into the summer league to really watch.
Right. Yeah, same. Because, like, Syracuse. And I kind of want to see, like, the Lakers picks as well, like, how they do and stuff.
And according to my facts, Kyle Kuzma was a summer league player, was he not?
Yes, he was.
And he wasn't guaranteed a contract until he showed up with Lonzo?
Correct.
All right, so anything can happen after that. So
Well, I mean, he was a second round pick, but like they didn't expect him to come in and do what he did.
exactly, and then he was guaranteed a spot on the team. So
Right. So anything can happen, like you said.
right.
But oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
go
Jake.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask you what you think about your Lakers draft picks.
Oh, see, I was kind of mad on draft night because, like, I mean, he's good, but like, I wanted a player who could help us win now, and I don't think Max Christie is that guy. I think we should have went with a former Dookie, Trevor Keels, because we need wing defenders, and that boy can lock down. So I was really hoping we would go after him. Instead, we went for a project, which I'm kind of confused about. But I mean, I've heard good things about him, so maybe he'll be good in the future. But as of right now, I'm not very high on the pick.
Okay, Gio, I'm about to ask you about your draft picks, but I gotta talk about my boy Max Christie real quick. I think you sleep on that boy. I know he didn't shoot like great last year, but he is a shooter, and I believe he can be a nice piece to your team. Now, I don't see him coming in start of the season well, but I think once he gets acclimated and kind of learns from LeBron a little bit more, I think he's going to be a key piece for you guys going into the playoffs and possibly in the playoffs itself.
That's fair. I hope you're right. But the big issue for me is his defense. His defense is non-existent, and that's what worries me. I knew he could shoot, and I'm glad that we got a shooter. But like, we also need defense because that was our biggest weakness last year, I would say.
Fact.
But if he can
Uh,
develop his defensive side of the game, I could see him being a good role player in the future.
Facts. I'm hoping for you guys, but
But I know you like that pick, Nikola Jovic. What do you got to say about him?
I mean, I was gonna let Gio talk first, but since you asked, I love that pick personally. The only thing I don't really get from his highlights, I don't see him so much as a Miami Heat player.
Mm.
He doesn't really show high energy from what I've seen like that.
Okay.
But I also see him as a very skilled player. I really like it's something about them kids in Serbia, bro.
Right.
Like and having the last name with J-O
Yeah, bro.
blank.
It's so confusing because it's like Jovic and Jokic. I was so confused. I was like, what the heck?
But like from what I've seen, they have pretty similar play styles as well. Like Jovic can pass the ball pretty well, and then he's also pretty well with scoring the ball. And I like him as a shot blocker better than Jokic. Though.
That's crazy. I mean, I think the Heat took him as a player to develop, not like someone to contribute right away. I feel like it's going to take him a little while to get acclimated, but once he does, he could definitely be a good role player for you guys.
I think in like 2 years, him and Bam are going to be nice together.
I agree because like pick and roll with those two because Jovic can handle the ball.
Yeah, I like. So it took Bam a few seasons to become Mr. Bam Adebayo, Mr. Bamsy in my eyes.
Right.
I think you give Jovic 2 or 3 years in Miami, I think he might be better than Bam by that point.
That's fair. It might be a little bit of reach right now, but maybe we could see it in a couple years.
Y'all say that now.
But
Well,
Gio,
yeah.
oh, go ahead and say it. What's up?
Nah, not you good.
I was gonna say, Gio, the Mobley brothers got reunited in Cleveland. What do you got to say?
I'm loving that. If that kid can be like his brother, right, and just show effort, that's all we need is effort from that kid. We don't need him to like be potentially rookie of the year, Evan
Right.
Mobley, right?
Yeah.
But if he can show the effort, rebound, all this stuff that his brother shows, that would be great. My main thing about this draft is we drafted Oche.
Ochai
I don't.
Abaji, yeah.
Yes,
That's a
Abaji.
great
Yeah,
pick. Very good
great
pick.
pick. He's a small forward from Kansas. He can shoot and he can defend, so I'm loving that, especially when we need a small forward. We have every other position.
Right. I
And
feel like
then
he could be a Kevin Love type replacement player if Kevin Love decides to leave or retire.
right, exactly. And then we can also have Jared Allen, right? We
Right.
got Evan Mobley at the 4. Then we got him at the 3. Karis LeVert, if we do end up signing him at the 2, and then obviously Garland at the 1, if Sexton does end up leaving. And then we also got depth for Garland, right, with our second round draft pick. And then
Right.
obviously we got Mobley as well. So that's great. Loving
Right.
it.
I think you guys definitely had one of the best drafts out of the teams. And I think Isaiah
Sure.
Mobley is a player who slept on. He's very good. He might be an inconsistent shooter, but if he can make that shot consistent, he could be a great role player for you guys in
Right.
years to come.
For sure.
Because he's a great defender. I think he averaged like 3 or 4 blocks a game.
Right. So if he can just show that hustle in the NBA, that's all we need.
Right.
And we also build on depth. That was the key factor.
Right. Go ahead, say that.
I also believe Mobley was like your first round pick was also very nice. But I wanna talk about Mobley for a little bit. I think it's nice for the Cavaliers to have the Mobley brothers together.
Right.
Sure.
Because the chemistry.
But at the same time, I don't think it's good for Isaiah Mobley to be in Cleveland underneath his brother.
Right.
That's true because like confidence standpoint.
But at the same time, you have the Antetokounmpo brothers in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
So.
But like that's kind of different though, because like Thanasis doesn't play. He's just a cheerleader.
That's what I was gonna say. But what happens with that brother doing? One brother gets all the shine, the other one's only known by like real NBA fans.
Right.
But if you do see, he's a great player on the bench. Like they need him on the bench,
100%. But like
in my opinion.
I feel like it's different for the Mobley's because like Isaiah is actually going to play, and I feel
Right.
like he's going to get overlooked by his brother, which I don't know if he'll like.
Like he's in college.
He was overlooked.
In his brother's shadow the entire time.
Yeah, and I feel like
Right.
eventually he's going to get sick of it because I would.
His brother left to go to the league. He shined, I would say,
Yeah,
on his own in college.
100%.
Then he gets to the league, just go right back in the shadow where I don't think his confidence is going to be there, and I don't think his freedom is going to be there as much as he would like.
That's fair. That's a good point.
But I might be completely wrong with that. He might just show up and outdo his brother. So
Because like in college, even though he was in his brother's shadow, he still played great with his brother. Like they were still a great team.
Sure.
for Gio's fandom over there, I hope he exceeds his brother and plays even better.
Right. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I'm surprised Abaji even slipped to 15th, I believe. That was crazy to me, and that was a great steal by the Cavs, I would say.
For sure.
Facts. He was nice.
But you got a segment you want to do, Gio?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure tomorrow starts the first round of the Wimbledon, tennis back up. One of the best, tournaments we have here. So, looking forward to that. Also, the Avalanche did clinch and won the Stanley Cup tonight. So congratulations to the Avalanche. Colorado haven't won it since 2001, 2002, I believe. So congratulations to those guys. And then, yeah, just those shutouts tonight.
All right, going off what you said, congratulations to the Avalanche. Big win for them, Stanley Cup champions. But for video games, there's not much going on. But Madden 23 is eventually going to come out soon, in a couple months, around August 20th. So that hopefully that game will be good, and they can build on Madden 22 because I really liked Madden 22. But yeah, outside of that, not much.
Yes, sir. Congrats to the Avalanche. I don't know hockey, but congrats. In music, a lot of people dropped this last Friday, but my shout out's gonna go to Lil Durk. He dropped a whole album. I've listened through it once or twice so far. I gotta listen to it a few more times to get really into it, I think. But it's not bad so far, I would say. Like I could still bop to it, I would say.
But
But yeah,
yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all on the next one.
yeah, thanks for watching. I know you about to drop a like, so thank you for that one. If you're feeling generous, you can drop a comment as well. Thank you. And thank you for Gio as well.
Hey, make sure you guys subscribe. It should be automatic by now, but if you're already not subscribed, make sure you guys go do that. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Thank you.
Thank you.